Hi, I'm Ellie Mae, or Polly Pocket, however you should know me, but my real name is like Ellie, it's Alice. And do you know that someone booked a hotel under my name the other day and used my old number and I got charged? But I got let off because it wasn't me. How rude. But this video is about how I got clean. So, I was in hospital for 5 weeks about 2 years ago, and I was on bipolar meds and they were really strong, and I was just bedridden, like with tiredness and fatigue, and I was gaining weight and it was awful. And this friend came in and he bought a meth pipe and he said, have some of this, you'll feel better. So I was like, okay, cool, may as well. I had that years ago, so I might as well try it again. And it worked. I got out of bed, I was functioning, the doctors thought I was doing really well, and I failed a drug test in the hospital and they found out that I was on meth and they kept me in a bit longer, but I still continued to use because it was like, well, it was helping me. And then they decided, well, they're going to release me because there was nothing that they can do. They can't stop me from smoking meth. And I was clinically sane and I was much better in myself, so they let me go. So how did I begin to pay for this drug? Well, I used to be a sex worker when I was younger, so I went back to sex work to pay for the drug, and then it just escalated. Like my use got really high. Like I binged on it day and night. I thought that I loved my job because I was so like, meth makes you sexually turned on all the time. It makes you like really manic. It makes you really like creative. And so I put all this effort into my job and I became quite well known on Pornhub, and I did podcasts, and I published blogs and had a YouTube channel and all this stuff, and I was constantly using meth. I wanted to get clean because I knew I had a problem and I knew it wasn't good for me. I'd lost a lot of weight and it was really demanding, having to earn about $2,000 a week just to pay for it. I did earn that amount to pay for it. It was quite lucky that I was quite a popular little sex worker. I had quite a few regulars and I had a little family of regulars and they looked after me. They didn't know that I was on meth, but I loved them. But I also met my partner during this time, and he wanted me to get clean, so I wanted to get clean for him, and it was originally for him. It wasn't for myself in the beginning. But I started the journey of getting clean when last year I went to Hamilton to get clean. I moved out of Nelson and just went to Hamilton to try and clean myself up. That was my first detox. It was awful. Like, I got massive cravings for chocolate, chips, carbs, copious amounts of fizzy. The feeling in my body was like I was 1,000 kgs and I had body jolts going through me all the time, detoxing. I was like, and I was just like, oh my God. I was called up into bed and I was so angry. And I lived with these people and I was just so angry. I would scream at the lady that was living there, and she was pregnant, and I would scream at her and I would be so demanding and I wanted everything now. And then I would I didn't have a car and I didn't have much money because when I detoxed I stopped working, and I would walk all the way out to the hospital to get meds, wait for like 9 hours in an emergency room just to get some meds, only to be told I couldn't get the meds. And so I got really distressed and I thought, fuck this, it's not worth it. So I gave it all up and went back to using just to alleviate the symptoms. And then I continued on my merry way, and I kind of told my partner that I was kind of clean and I was kind of doing all right, but I was actually back using again. And then I tried a couple of times to cut down, and that was hard. I had to put it in like small little bags and just give myself a little bit, but it was really, really hard because I just used to like smoking a huge amount and I loved it. And one thing that I did that was probably helpful was that I never stole, I never borrowed, and I never got involved with gangs this time round, thank God. I always paid my way when it came to drugs, so I remained out of danger, which was cool. But I got accepted into rehab, finally. But before I got accepted into rehab, I started seeing a psychotherapist, and I was also seeing a drug and alcohol clinician, like a specialist in addiction, because I didn't get along well with most of clinicians in the AOD service. They didn't know what to do with me because I was such a weird user. I was bipolar, and I was BPD, and I was an addict. So you can imagine my personality, very hard to work with. I was very complex. I am very complex. And so I started going to psychotherapy as well as seeing my clinician. And I also started studying lots about addiction myself and mental health to teach myself skills so that I could get out of this mess. You have to get proactive when you're an addict. You can't just sit there and be a victim to addiction. You have to actually go and learn skills about life and how to cope and how to delay use and how to cut down and how to replace stuff with. And then you've got to start having a life outside of that. You've got to start going out for lunch. You've got to start going out for like shopping. You've got to start. And all the money that I saved when I did cut down, I spent on myself. Like, that was really helpful. Like, so for example, if I didn't buy $250 of meth this morning, which is what I usually spent every couple of days or every day, I would go and buy myself jewelry and clothes and makeup, and then I would reward myself for not buying drugs, and I'd be like, yay. And then I'd go to need the drugs again. I'm like, damn it, I wish I could take those things back to the shop. And I did that a couple of times when we've got refunds and stuff, and people go get my meth again. But it was like a stop-start thing. Like I started to get clean, and then I stopped, and I started and stopped and stopped and started. And it was like this. And it was a bit of a headache for everyone. But the psychotherapy was so key because it was just done in this beautiful, delicate way that helped me. And he let me just babble on about my shit. And then he would feed things back to me very gently and slowly and ask me some open questions that got me thinking about things. And he educated me on my brain and what methamphetamine actually does and what I'm actually going through and what I'm actually experiencing. Because when you're an addict, you're in this kind of like force of like blackness, and you don't know actually what's happening to you, and you don't know why. You just have this feeling of, oh, I'm an addict and this is what I do. But actually there's this whole picture going on, and it's your brain reacting this way, and it's your body doing this, and it's because of this, and this is what you're going through. And to know that, like, knowledge is so powerful when you have insight and revelation into why you are the way you are and why you do things and what else you can do. Like, it be given some tools. Holy shit, that's such a key. So I got really like proactive. I was like, and then my therapist, he was so sexy, by the way, and he said that I couldn't come back to see him unless I was clean. So I was like, I want to get clean because I want to see him. But no, besides that, he was actually very professional, and it was very, very cool. That wasn't my main motivation. I had a partner who was very sexy as well. Yeah, so I decided to give it a go, and then I got accepted into rehab shortly after that. My clinician rang me and she said, you're going to rehab. And I just said to her, right, it's going to be my full-time job to get clean. And I did. I didn't get clean straight away. Like, for the next couple of weeks after I got into rehab, I kind of dabbled a bit, like, smoking a little bit every day, but not as much. And then I went away with my partner one day, and then he caught me using, and I was like, oh my God, and I cried because I was going to lose him. And then one day it was like there was like a public holiday, and I don't work on public holidays, and so I was working as an escort. So I didn't work on this public holiday, and then my partner came around the next day, so I didn't work that day either, and I had to work every day to maintain my habit. So I had a couple of days where I didn't work, and then I ran out of money because I ran out of meth. And then I was like, fuck. And then all of a sudden the detox kicked in because I had run out of meth, and I'd run out of money to buy more, and I got really sick really quickly. So I couldn't go back to work to go and make more money. So I got kind of caught, and I was like, fuck, I didn't maintain my work schedule so that I could maintain my drug habit. And so I kind of accidentally got clean. I got really sick, and I remember lying in my bed with like bottles of fizzy next to me and chocolate and quetiapine and all that shit. And I just remember thinking, I've got nothing to lose. I have to make it my full-time job to get clean. I may as well just keep going. And what's the worst that can happen? And I'm a bit of an attention seeker anyway. So I was like, well, I'm just going to get really sick, and then I'm sure that my partner will look after me, and I love it when he looks after me. So poor me, that will be fine because I don't mind a bit of cuddles and stuff anyway, so yay. So I don't mind being sick. So that was kind of going through my head. I'm just being honest. And so I went through it, and I kind of expected my partner to be there the whole time, but he went off motorbike racing one day, and then he was doing other stuff one day, and so he only dropped in for like a couple of hours a day while I was detoxing, and it was really hard, but that was okay. Like I still did it. Like I just videoed him like every half an hour, like hello it was so cute. But yeah, so I went through it and I just did it, and I texted my flatmate who was a user at the time, and I said, don't give me any pee, please. And he tried, and I think I had a little bit one day, and then I just said, no, don't fucking give it to me again, you asshole. You don't understand addiction. I said, you're just a casual fun user and you think it's great. You don't understand what it's done to my life. Like I've been made homeless before. I've had housing issues. I've had health issues. I've been really sick. I've had this massive habit compared to most people. So it's really unfair when a fun guy comes along with pee thinking it's fun. He doesn't actually realize the grandstandness of the addiction in my life. Like it was severe for me, so I didn't take it lightly. When I got clean, I was like, this is serious. I have to get clean. And so I ended up having to go to hospital because I got really sick and my body was just shutting down, and I was coming off alcohol as well because I drank about 2 bottles of wine a day. It was always 1 bottle of wine a day, but most of the time it was 2. And then I had to go to hospital, and they put me on as soon as I walked in, I said, look, I'm detoxing alcohol and meth. I feel really shit. Can you help me? And they took my vitals and blood pressure and stuff, and they put me through straight away because they were like, fuck, you're really sick. And I was like, oh no. And so I curled up in a hospital bed, and they put me on a drip. And then I got a sandwich, and I ate my little sandwich, and I was so hungry that I ate like 2 sandwiches. Like I got my partner to bring me in a sandwich, and then I had a hospital sandwich as well. That's how hungry I was. I just wanted to eat all the time, because when you're getting clean, you have this feeling like you're missing something and you need something, but you don't know what it is. And so your brain automatically just goes food, because that's what you're lacking. And I was like, I had to do something with my mouth and my hands all the time. It was this huge gap in my life that something was missing. And so I just ate all the shit, and then I just like drank heaps of fizzy, and I didn't give a fuck about my weight. I was like, I don't care. I'm just hurting right now, and I need something to make me feel better. And the psychological side of it wasn't as hard in the first few days because I was so overcome by sickness that I didn't think too much about meth. I just thought about the pain that I was in. And it wasn't until like I got out of hospital, and then I went back home and I felt better, and the next day I went house hunting with my partner, and I felt a bit better. I felt my legs were a bit shaky, and I couldn't quite exercise properly. I couldn't walk anywhere, so I kind of rested and stuff, and I smoked a lot of weed. While I was getting better. And once the physical side subsided, the mental warfare kicked in, and it was like, meth, I must get meth. I just thinked about it, I talked about it to myself, I looked for ways I could get money. But then what I rewarded myself with and what kept me going was the fact that I'd done Facebook posts about my clean journey. I'd been talking to my parents again, who I hadn't talked to in a couple of years. My partner was really supportive, and so I was wanting that that positive affirmation more than I wanted drugs. I actually got like really addicted to my partner saying how proud he was of me and making him happy, and that kept me going, even though it was like superficial stuff, like I just wanted that kind of attention, but it actually kept me going, and that's how I got clean. And then the thoughts just got less and less intense as I walked along, and then I just kept but the one trigger for me was when I got stressed, like when I had housing issues again. So I had to move out of my flat because my flatmate was using pee still, and his partner didn't know that. I don't think she still knows that he's still using pee, but I had to move out because I'd already caused trouble because I said to her that, hey, he's using, and then he said, oh, he's got clean again, and so they went back together, and then he still used, which behind your back, and I found that really hard to live with. So I moved out on good terms. I just didn't cause any drama with it. I just thought, no, it's not my business. So I hope he gets clean. But another really instrumental thing for getting me clean was going to NA. So I started going to NA every night, and I got so like into it. Like, I just loved it. They were talking about normal stuff like housework, and they did the housework all day, and all my kids did this, and I was like, holy shit, these people have lives. And like, I was so used to just everything being about pee and smoking pee and like all that shit, and then I didn't understand that you could have a normal life after that. But I met people that were having normal lives, and they're like, now they were complaining about housework, and I was like, oh my God, I wish I could complain about housework. I can't even clean my room. And so I saw these people living these normal lives, and I was like, fuck my life. And another key thing that I did was I quit my job. So I quit escorting, because escorting I was earning about $300 an hour, $350 an hour. It's not much compared to some escorts, but that's just what I was. I'm an average little Polly Pocket. And and so and taking away the money was really good, because it wasn't a trigger for me. Because if I earned, say, if I have like 1 booking or 2 bookings a day, oh my God, I can get a bag of pay, and I can also afford food. Yay, what's stopping me? So I had to take away the job, and then I had to kind of get, man, that sun's in my eye. I had to kind of get poor so that I couldn't afford it. Oh, that's better. And and so I just got like poor, and so that I couldn't afford pee, and I just took away the trigger, which was earning money. So that was cool. And another rewarding thing for me getting clean was my partner committing to me, because now that I was clean, he could be with me, and that was cool. And so we started a relationship properly, and now we're living together, which is really cool. So I'm doing really well now. I'm a month clean, and I have put on a bit of weight, but that's because I'm eating 3 meals a day now, not just living on chocolate and Fanta. But I feel really, really fucking good, and I'm glad I took the journey, and I'm glad I took the steps that I needed to take, and my mind is so calm and so clear, and there's no drama in my life anymore. Like, there's no drama. And another thing I've noticed is my energy. I have natural energy. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to start the day. I want to get out of bed and have a coffee. Oh, yay. And I just have natural energy, which is cool, because I paid $2,000 a week to get that energy. And now I have that energy naturally. And I did kind of cut corners. I said I'd stop doing that because I realized it was a trigger. So I went and bought energy pills, like, like those no-dos and energy and vitality vitamins and stuff, to give me that same meth buzz. But I realized that triggered me, because I started having dreams about it again and wanting it. And so I decided to not cut corners, and just to go natural and slowly, and just drink coffee and have Diet Coke and stuff. And so that was really cool. So and so that was a real tip of mine, is don't try and cut corners and substitute, like try and find a substitute for meth, because you're not actually fixing the root cause. You're just putting a band-aid over it and like replacing it with something that's going to be like just synthetic, and even though it might be natural, it's still going to trigger those cravings of wanting drugs. So don't do that. Drink heaps of fizzy, and don't be too hard on yourself. One thing I did was I switched over to fizzy water once my detox symptoms had subsided. So I drank heaps of fizzy, and give yourself permission to. Like, you're not going to die in like 4 or 5 days drinking like a few litres of fizzy a day. You won't. Like, you'll just get a bit unhealthy, but like eventually you will get to the point where you can drink fizzy water, and then you'll love that. Get flavored fizzy water, it's so nice. And so I've done that. And another thing I've done is I've gone on the keto diet, so that I can like fix my mental health, because it's really good for the brain, the keto diet, and it's good for like the body as well, because I want to slim down a little bit. But that was cool. And quitting my job was really cool. I mean, if I break up with my partner, will I go back to work? Well, maybe one day I might, but I would do it as an elite older escort, and I would just do like 1 client every couple of days. And so I don't have that money issue where I'm earning too much money. So that's probably what I'll do. But I don't see myself going back to work or leaving my partner, because he's amazing. But so that's me, and that's how I got clean. So drink heaps of fizzy, go hard on the food. You are going to want chocolate, you are going to want carbs, you are going to want sweet things, but that's only temporary. It only lasts about 5 days, the food cravings, and you will put on weight, but don't worry about it. Like, you can lose it again later. It's just a season. So just remember, it's not forever, it's just a season. And you go through these stages, and you will get to becoming a better person. You will function normally, you will have energy, you will be having no drama in your life anymore, you will have your relationships back. Just imagine your life without pee, and what what the life you will live. And guess what? It happens really fast. I'm a month clean and I'm already back with my relationships, having energy, feeling healthy, feeling good, loving my life. And guess what else comes? Joy. God, I have so much joy now, because like I was so sad before and just troubled because my dopamine was all like sad. And they say it, like people say that it takes ages for your dopamine to get back up to the level where you can be happy again after meth, because it really destroyed your brain. But I've actually experienced dopamine coming back naturally really quickly anyway. So now I can be really happy and really content. So that's my little tips on how I got clean, and I really wish you all the best. And if you're doing it, it is so worth the journey. Like, oh my God, just take the fucking step. And you just have to make the decision not to buy the next bag. And then what you do is you just go into detox and you just go through it. And then you go through the seasons and the stages of that, of getting clean. But guess what? It's so worth it, because you're on your feet before you know it. Okay. Bye. I look a bit puffy today, don't I? I've got a bit of a sickness going on, but I'm still cute as a button.